So now our dough is ready for the next step. I always let it sit for at least half an hour and cover it with a light cloth. Whoops. Okay, and then after this, I need to work the bread. That we'll need to do every half hour and I usually do it about 5 times. And just for my own sake, I set alarms on my phone 5 times. You don't have to do this. You don't have to be this precise, but if I don't have an alarm, I tend to get distracted and do other things. And then I've let my dough grow too much and it starts growing out of the bowl, which we don't want. So for my own forgetfulness, I set these alarms to remind myself to get up and work the bread every half hour. Okay, so now is the first alarm went off for me to go ahead and work the dough a little bit. So you can see in here it's still pretty thick and goopy. I like to work directly with my hands. Some people like to use like a spatula like this, but I make sure that my hands are clean and I make sure that my hand is wet and keep it straight, and then just kind of plunge down onto the side and then scoop under and grab it with my thumb and pull it and stretch it up until like it starts to break, and then fold it over, flap it like that. Then I just kind of turn it a quarter of a turn each time, stretch it until it kind of starts to break. And at this point it's still very messy, sticky. See, it's all over my hands. And then do this about 4 times. So right now there's really not much shape or form to the dough, but we're gonna work this over the next few hours. So, and then this will be the 4th one, and that'll be good until the next alarm goes off in about half an hour, and I'm going to keep it covered until the next one goes off, and that's it. Okay, so round 2, got my wet hand to start working the dough. It's still pretty thick and goopy, with hands straight, and just jab it straight down in there, grab it, pull it again. It's a little bit stiffer than it was the first time I worked it. Pull it right until it starts to break, until it can't really stretch anymore without breaking, and then flop it over. Again, we'll just turn it a quarter turn each time, starting to get a little smoother than before. Still pretty messy though. And then flap it down one more time. Okay, then we'll cover it up and leave it for the next time. Okay, now we're going in for the 3rd time. Same process. Jab that hand in there, grab it with the thumb, pull it. It's starting to get a little bit stiffer and doesn't break as easily. Flop it over, quarter turn. Stretch it out. Whoop, that broke. Flop it over. Again, it's getting a little bit tighter.
It's not the end of the world if it breaks, right?
No, not the end of the world. It's just a sign that that's as far as to pull it, because that's kind of how you work the dough. And all right, so we'll leave it for the next time. Okay, 4th and almost last. Same process. Now it's really getting more formed, more consistent, a lot less messy. So you can see it's a lot smoother. Do it 2 more flips. And then we'll let it sit for another half hour. Okay, so now we're going to fold it one last time. Same process. Jab hand in there. Stretch it out, fold it over. It's a lot smoother and more intact this time. Okay, just 2 more. Okay, so that's good. And then we'll cover it up, and I'm going to get ready for the next steps, because now we're going to be getting ready to bake it. So what we're going to do is, when we're ready to bake, we're going to bake it in a Dutch oven. And so when I preheat the oven, I'm going to put the Dutch oven inside the oven so it can preheat at the same time. And then I'm going to set it to 500 degrees. Okay, and start. And while that's preheating, I'm going to work on the next stage.